that you're doing a little street magic these days, which is pretty cool. And you've kind of moved to cards a little bit. Am I correct?
So I'll give you some of the secrets of magic. So actually, I've been doing cards since I was 6 years old. So I probably studied card magic for about 10,000 hours or 20,000 hours just with card magic.
Wow.
But I actually just don't post it online just because when I did America's Got Talent, it was always just the Rubik's Cube, the Rubik's Cube, the Rubik's Cube, and I just stuck with that. But for me and my special, I'm actually probably better at card magic than Rubik's Cube magic, believe it or not.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
And you also play with fire.
Yes, I've been working on just, for me, like what David Blaine does, he's been my biggest inspiration. Like he's able to swallow frogs. He can spit out 7 gallons of water. David Blaine does all these crazy things. And he's been someone that I've been studying since I was 6. Literally the moment I saw David Blaine perform, I studied him endlessly. I studied him, I've watched every single video you could find of him, and he's the best magician I've ever seen and met. First time I met him, I talked to him probably for way too long. And then I walked over to the corner and I started to cry. This is Los Angeles, backstage at the Dolby Theater. And there's like A-listers, celebrities all around. It's a who's who of Hollywood. And I go to this corner and I just started to cry.
Oh my gosh. I understand.
In front of everybody. It's just when you meet someone like that is impact, like he's literally the reason I exist. And when you meet someone like that, it just hit me emotional. And I was just like, wow, like I have the best, most amazing life ever. The fact that I could say that I met him and I know him, it's hard to. So the fire stuff is just the start of it. It's a routine that I'm building together. So, but it's in the process. Really awesome. It's not ready to show yet. So when it's ready, I'm going to be excited to do it.
So when you put your show together, how long is the entire show?
So my show, it depends where I'm booking shows. So for me, like if I'm doing a college show, a corporate show, a show one-on-one with people, a lot of times my favorite show is just for people. I find people and I just do magic for them. So it just varies. It could go anywhere from 5 minutes all the way to 2 hours, 3 hours.
Wow.
And for me, it's every show is different. For me, it's like I would try to customize each show, brand new tricks. It's always just an experiment for me.
Wow.
Now, Steve, what type of tricks would people expect to see? For example, so if they're not familiar, they will see more than Rubik's Cube. They could see a lot of different things, right?
Yeah, so I don't actually post my shows online. It's one of those things where I've done literally thousands of shows and I've never been posted online because for me, I like having that surprise. When you come to my show, you're going to see something that you've never seen before. And that's something that like Dave Chappelle started to do. All these celebrities say, put away your phone. So for me, that's just a cool experience where you come, you're going to see something totally brand new, as opposed to the same tricks. But you guys want to see some stuff?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Let's do it.
I'll show you some magic. And so this is the really fun part about magic is I've worked so hard in magic. I could actually expose some of the magic. And we're going to try to play a fun little game. During this routine, I will not be lying to you. Okay. The entire time, anytime you want, you could say, hey, he's lying here, and you could call me out on a lie if you want. But you only get 2 of those the entire podcast. While we do magic, and basically just you're going to have to try to discern truth and see if what I'm telling you is actually real or if I'm tricking you. And that's the beautiful thing about being a magician is, who knows? So
nice. I like
start.
that.
Can you guys see the Rubik's Cube for me?
Yes.
Perfect. So we're going to start to mix it up. Can you tell me right, left, top, bottom, and back? And tell me, and I'll mix it up that way. Yeah. So you could say R, L, T, whatever. You just start naming sides. Yell out for me. The top.
L.
L.
I'll do a couple to help you out. But
there you go. That's the way to do it.
Quick.
R.
T.
R. T.
LMNOP.
That's not, actually, M is middle, so that kind of counts.
M. Steve, can I buy a vowel?
Yes.
Let me ask you one question I was curious about. Is every Rubik's Cube, are they all the same, or is there any difference in them?
So they're all different. There's literally 1,000 different types of Rubik's Cube that you could buy them in China. You buy them from the US, the Rubik's Cube. But basically, they all just turn. For me, I just love using what you call purist in magic. So a lot of people use tricks or gimmicks or little flaps with the Rubik's Cube, and I just like the fact that you could do stuff without using gimmicks or flaps or tricks. So it is just normal Rubik's Cube.
I'll go with your 12 seconds.
12 seconds. Wait, can we do 15?
Okay,
sure.
15.
Sounds
you got to
good
be
to me.
that way. We'll go with 15.
Oh,
Okay, maybe 20.
No,
Make
20.
it difficult. Okay, we'll go.
No
15.
20.
When I say go, can you count to 15 for me? Ready, set, and go.
1,
Start counting.
2,
Start counting.
3,
A
4,
little louder.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
15 and right before. Oh, there we go.
Holy mackerel.
15
Very good. 15 and a half.
Crazy.
I have the timer actually upstairs. I
Was
should
it
have brought
actually
the
15?
actual timer. I think it was a little bit. I counted very fast at the beginning, but I do have a timer upstairs that we should have used for that. Hit the
Okay.
timer.
So I'll tell you, it was exactly 15.98 seconds if I did that correctly.
Okay. 15.98 seconds.
Yeah,
I think
here's
you're
my thing.
lying.
Why didn't you ask for a faster time?
We did. We asked for 7 seconds.
Yeah,
Well,
but
that's
you didn't
because
stick with
you're yeah, but Steve, you're 3 hours behind us, so we give you a little bit of a discount there. With the
it.
time
Yeah,
set.
no, but so here's the thing. Why didn't you stick with the time?
Because you made us.
Well, no,
Yeah.
you had a choice. You had a choice. I mean, I influenced you to do that. You could have stuck with it. I mean, and I would have stuck with it, but we'll try this with the Rubik's Cube. So that's not really magic. What is it?
That's brain
Skill.
power, because with the Rubik's Cube, it's all different like algorithms and different patterns
Nope, so
that you have to
not even brain
memorize.
power. What is it? It's just
Luck?
no. It's just skill.
Skill.
Is it fair
Okay.
to say that any of you could do that, right?
I cannot do it unless I learned it.
So, if I helped you, though, could you do it?
Yes, I could.
Yeah. So that's one of the keys to knowledge. Essentially, the best way to get the knowledge is what? Ask the experts.
Sure.
Right? Most people don't understand that you'll never know knowledge. Just go to expert and ask them. Most of them are willing to give away their secrets. A lot of them will be like, earn the secrets.
Yes,
But that's the best way to
true.
get it. So if you really want to learn something, I encourage people just to ask. You know?
Okay.
And
You got
we'll,
it.
We'll try it out with the Rubik's Cube. We're going to mix it up. Now I'm going to show you the magic part. You could guess how this works, but not yet. And
Okay.
you can call me out as being a liar anytime during the show if you do want. Watch. So we're going to mix
Okay.
up one-handed in the bag, less than a second, mixed up, completely solved.
Is the bag empty?
Now that is magic right there.
Any guesses
Definitely.
how that works?
Is the bag empty?
What do you say?
Crumple up the bag for us.
Are you saying is the bag empty?
Yes.
Yeah, is the bag empty?
Yeah, it's empty.
Now,
Can you show it to
Crumple
us?
up
The
the bag.
inside of the bag?
No, completely.
Nice.
awesome. That was 1 second of magic.
All right. Now, here's the fun part. I'll do it one more time, but I'll do it without even touching the Rubik's Cube. Watch. Still completely empty, correct?
Yes.
100%. We're going to
Yep.
mix up the Rubik's Cube. And we're going to drop it in the bag. Here's my question. Is that still completely mixed up?
Yes, it is.
Multiple sides?
Yep, it appears to be.
Right, watch. Without even touching it. Mixed. Back to solve.
You think it's solved? What do you think, Ken?
Can I get a lifeline? Yes, I'll say it's solved.
And you, Duke?
Solved. Okay, watch. Completely. Here's the crazy part. When it's solved, if I snap a second time, it goes from completely solved back to mixed up.
Okay, but we didn't see it solved, so I don't want to do that.
You
See?
don't trust- okay, I just did magic. Actually, I didn't. lie. So you just wait. So that you use one of your lifelines. You said lie, right? It actually was solved.
Okay.
I'll
Let's
do it
see.
one more time. So
That-
I'm
okay,
a
let's
magician
see
and
it.
you don't believe me, so I have to prove it. Mixed,
Mixed.
solved, unsolved, solved, unsolved.
He's such a comedian too.
Inside there should be one completely solved Rubik's Cube,
Wow.
one empty bag.
Wow. Now that was magic right there. That was awesome. That was very, very cool.
Any guesses how it works?
How does it work?
So I'll give you an option. I could either tell you the secret of the magic, or I could keep it hidden. You choose.
Well, you always said ask the experts, so I'll ask you. How'd you do it?
You want to learn? You all have
Yeah.
to agree together. If you guys want to learn the secrets, I will expose magic for you guys.
What do you say,
Duke?
Duke?
Yes. Let's learn.
Yes.
All right,
But
let's
is
do it.
that against the magician's code not to expose it, or does it not matter?
Yes.
Okay, so is it against the magician's code if I ask you a question and you give me a direct answer? Is there a second cube?
Oh, no.
So you've only dealt with...
So here's the fun part.
Okay.
The reason that I'm able to tell the secret is I put in close to 10,000 hours into this trick. Into this one trick. I've done it over 10,000 times, so I've earned the right to do it.
That's
if some other magician exposed this trick, you know what I would do to them? You're not I would cancel their magician membership. Maybe that's a little bit mean, but it's like, hey kid, you didn't earn that. That's okay. But we'll try it out. So watch, we're gonna mix it up, and I'll show you it. We'll mix it up on all these sides so you can see that. Watch. And I want you guys to watch that mix it Rubik's Cube. We're gonna cover it just for a split second. So.
Wow. Wow.
That's freaky.
It's awesome.
That is freaky.
Yeah, no, we're not. I don't think I want to learn it because I don't want to be
now that I've seen you do that, I don't want to learn it. I like the mystery.
Steve, could you take over my stock accounts and invest for me?
I have played around with money. I do pretty well on my good days.
Okay, all right. I'm wiring you money as we speak.
There we go. No, I'm finding with COVID, all my shows disappeared in one night. It was so crazy. I had my entire calendar lined up, and then literally one night, everything disappeared.
That's so funny. Yeah. So 3 of our gigs disappeared in one night too.
It's crazy for entertainers, for artists. Literally everything disappeared, and I'm just like, and I mean, it's cool the fact that virtual shows are popping up, and I booked a virtual show for Google. I have other clients coming in, so it's like that's cool. But I'm excited for live shows.
That's very cool. So now
and I'm sure as drummers, you guys missed that too.
Yeah, they're drummers. I'm a singer. So we had here in New Jersey, where the 3 of us are from, we actually opened up the outdoor dining. So we wound up having like an okay summer, I should say. But now it's not really sure what's going to happen. But hey, listen, I have a question.
Yes.
And Steven, you're going to be just listening to the answers of Ken and Duke, and then we want your answer. Okay, you already answered one of the questions, which was who is your inspiration? So we knew it was David Blaine. But here's another one.
Go for it.
What is the #1 most important thing to Steven? Is it faith, love, hope, or integrity?
Wow. So those 4. So faith, love, hope, and integrity.
Right.
Wow.
You can't answer that yet, because the guys have to answer it quickly.
Faith.
Okay.
So I already think integrity. Based on listening to what he said, I believe integrity is the #1 most important thing to him.
Huh.
Okay. And what did you say, Ken?
What say you? I say faith.
Say you. All right, Steven. What is it?
So what's yours though?
What's mine? Integrity for me.
Integrity. And can I ask why you guys chose those answers?
I did my research. I watched a video of yours where you spoke about this specifically.
Okay.
I said it because of the way you were talking about the magician's code and having to earn it, and somebody who is willing to invest thousands and thousands of hours has integrity. Somebody who's looking for a shortcut and just wants the easy way out isn't worried about integrity.
There's so many shortcuts in life. It's one of the things, there's shortcuts with almost anything. So it's like the hard route is usually the hardest one to take, but sometimes it's necessary. I'm trying to go to the 4. Repeat the 4 again. Can I explain my answer? Faith?
Faith, of course. Faith, love, hope, or integrity.
Faith, love, hope, or integrity.
Thank you.
So that's, for me, it's hard to define that, because it's one of those things where I think it comes down to the individual.
Right.
It's
but for you, what's most important for you?
It's going to be whatever that helps out that individual the most. So whoever's listening to this, whatever they have the most faith in, whether it's hope, love, integrity, that's going to come down to them. So while my answer is important, the most important answer is your own.
Okay. But what is yours? We need to know.
That's honestly the truth. So
I watched your video.
Can I be? It's the same for me. When I need love, I'm love. When it's integrity, you have to have integrity. When you need hope, there's hope. What I found is I'm on all these forums, and all these people are so pessimistic. Everyone's like, "Oh, this is happening." I'm like, "No, guys, like this is pretty dope." Like, I just charged $10,000 for a virtual show. Like,
there you go.
I'm in my bedroom, not leaving the house, in an hour worth of work, and I made $10,000. Like, guys, there's some good future ahead of us, and no one likes to look at the positive. Everyone's looking at the negative. So for
that's
me,
a great way of looking at it.
it's whatever I need to channel. For me, it's integrity. Sometimes it's love. Right now, it's lots of love. Because for me, I have a really broken family, and for me, it's just they need all the love they could get. So they're having a really tough time back home, and I'm trying to help them out.
That's a really good answer, and that's what you had said in your interview, was something that love was the most important thing to you, more so than integrity, actually. So that's good.
So Steven, talking about back home, what is the one thing that you got coming from Brooklyn that you think was the most valuable thing, and that you could have only gotten from being raised in Brooklyn?
From Brooklyn, I mean, Brooklyn was I moved there. I moved out of Brooklyn to upstate New York when I was like 12. So Brooklyn for me, I went to school and I played basketball. That's basically all I did. Basically, I would just go to school, go play basketball. And for me, like, the love of basketball came out. So honestly, I love basketball probably more than Magic, believe it or not.
Wow.
And I was good enough where I got scholarship offers. I thought about going D1. I thought about trying to pursue the NBA, but I just didn't do that route. So I turned down the offers and I kind of just went my own way. But it's one of those things where for me, basketball was something that's so dear to me just because it's such a beautiful sport. For me, I think it's the greatest sport of all. So I just love playing it. And for me, that's something that I take from Brooklyn at its heart.
So
that's awesome.
You're a Nets fan?
No. I live in LA. I live in Hollywood. So
okay.
Gotta be Lakers fan. Gotta be Lakers fan.
Lakers are going to do some work. They're going to win the championship. For Kobe, they need to win it. They're taking it.
Now, do you still play basketball a lot?
I play it every day. At least I try to play it every day. With the COVID pandemic, so I would show up to parks and they would just take down the rims. So I would start showing parks playing for a couple of days, and then they just took down the rims, or they put little bolts on it, and then all over LA, there's all these parks with no rims.
So what do you do?
And it's honestly, so I now, what?
So what do you do then if there's no rims?
I mean, I have friends with private gyms.
Okay. Did you get a chance to go to that house that they were on the hills where the Lakers were, where that gentleman has a exact replica, which is hard to believe, of the Staples Center? Did you see that?
What? No, I haven't seen that at all.
Oh yeah.
But I've been doing a bunch of private runs. For me, it's like I have some down in OC. A couple of celebrity friends come. It's like, the YouTubers, a couple of people. It's like it's just good quality people, and it's always fun. So for me, it's just learning about just playing basketball and enjoying the sport.
Well, the rims are still up out here. If you want to come out in the East and play, that's fine.
That's right.
Yeah, no. So I've been. There are parks open that I found in like North Hollywood, and you just have to search. For me, it's like you go, and if you don't find it, you just search and search and search and search.
Hey, it's not too late to get into the NBA.
It's one. Honestly, for me, I think it's possible, but I don't know. I have a couple friends who play in the league or played in the league. And I've chatted with them, and for me, it's like trying to figure out. I don't know if it's it's a goal where if you put in the work, you really, really have to focus. You really have to dedicate everything to it. What's really fun is, so this is the school that I graduated, McKeel Lions.
Okay.
In Schenectady, New York, right near Amsterdam, New York, and Saratoga Springs, Albany, that area. And my senior year, they actually built a basketball, its own little gymnasium, my senior year, just for me to play in. And the really cool part is whenever I go home, I have this massive, massive private gym that's for me to use anytime I want. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I just have one last question for you. I know that you, on your Facebook page, and I don't want to bring the mood down, but I know that in the past you suffered from some depression, as did I. So I was just wondering, did COVID affect that at all, or you totally overcame and you're doing great?
Yes, it's one of those things where I feel like for people, anxiety and depression, it comes and goes. For me, it's like there was a time, one of my darkest parts of my life was when I went to college for 5 years. I actually never got my degree, but I moved in
5 years.
5 years, don't have a degree to show for it. I was a couple of credits shy from graduating, and I just didn't tell anyone. They just thought I was graduating. I was like, okay, just went along with it. But eventually I ended up confessing to them, and I told them, and some of them were like, you don't have your degree. And some of them were like, that's, a lot of them didn't know how to react. Some of my family doesn't.
But you're a magician, world renowned, so it's okay.
Well, I mean, for me, it was just a little bit like there's, but yeah. So back to the story. So basically, I moved in back to my dad's attic, and it was the worst depression that I've ever went through. I felt like I had no life. I had no hope. There was no future. And it was for me, it was 100 times worse than COVID. That I had nothing in life. Everything was over. It was like, there was no purpose.
Yeah.
You know, I really did it on my purpose. And for me, it was debilitating. I barely went out. I faked a smile in front of friends. I didn't know what my life purpose was. And then for me, I had some very special people in my life that saved me. For me, it was my grandma. It was my aunt. It was just my family. They came in, they lifted me up from the mud, and they gave me a second chance at life. You know, I owe my Aunt Sarah everything. She's the kindest, most sweetest woman in the world. If you Google her, she owns LakeGeorge.com, Saratoga.com, Amsterdam.com, Albany.com, all these different websites. Yeah, so she runs all the portals for that. She's done that for years and years and years, owns this massive marketing company. But she's just an amazing person. And so she basically let me move in with her. I lived with her for years and years. She booked my first magic show. So I consider her a really good magician. The fact that she just got me got me back doing magic again.
That's right. Wow. That's awesome.
So Steven, real quick, I just wanted to ask you, can you remember or do you recognize a particular moment where it switched from the depression to, wait a minute, I got this?
It's always different. I mean, for me, I don't like saying there's one specific defined moment. I mean, it can be like that for some people. It's that light bulb where it switches, where it's like, oh, that's it. For me, it was my grandma coming down to my apartment, and she spent 5 hours cleaning my apartment, you know, and that was just one tiny step. And then taking a shower. And then eventually my aunt actually gave me a car so I could start driving around. So it's a journey. Mm-hmm. You know, it's usually never not one moment. If there is one moment, guess what? There's going to be another one too. It's a really beautiful future. So for me, for me, it was just, there sometimes are these moments you're like, oh, okay. But for me, it's always just a journey. And for me, everyone always says that it's not about the destination. It's never about the destination. It's always about the journey, which is a beautiful thing.
Right. Definitely. Anything in life. But it's great that you are doing well with it. Really, really great.
What can we look forward to from you?
Oh, for me? I mean, I'm working on a bunch of magic specials. So for me, I have these YouTube collaborations set up. You know Zach King, the Vine magician? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does all he does a lot of editing tricks, but it's mixed with practical. So he does like these magic tricks where he does it on the camera and he just blows mine. So I have a collaboration set up with him. And his videos average, he gets hundreds of millions of views on his videos. Wow. Which is just
and you collaborated, you said, with him?
No. So I have one in the works. It's like we've set it up. Okay. We have his team is writing a script. I'm writing a script. I have a bunch of collaborations set up with YouTubers. For me, it's important that I don't just put in, rather than just do a silly little video, I'm putting in the work. I have scripts written. I have a team helping me out. So it's just taking it step by step, you know? Awesome. So for me, these collaborations, I want them to have meaning. But also just be fun and just enjoyable and have people just light up the world, especially in today's day and age where everyone's so pessimistic. I want to be like, hey guys, here's some fun stuff you could do just with a little bit of creativity and it's fun, you know?
Definitely.
Steve, you're awesome. You came back and that's your greatest work is coming back from the dark times. I think it's awesome. Can you make my in-laws disappear?
Oh, that's the one I'm working on. There's a couple of family members that I'm like, nope. I deal with them every day. Honestly, I have family that
sounds like you're the same ones I do.
Friends. It's
a
battle
hilarious.
That you could never actually win. I don't know.
So answer your question, how you dealing with COVID? There's your answer.
It's a beautiful world, but for me, it's like the COVID is just, it's important to understand that this is just a time in our lives. You know, any time in our life, we're going to look back on it and it's going to be the same. You know, we'll
grow from it. We're going to grow from this experience and do innovative things like you're doing, like we're doing currently. Everything is Zoom. They're teaching school with the Zoom and the Google Meets. And we have to just learn how to live a little bit differently, but we'll all survive. So, Steve, this was so awesome. I'm so glad that we had this time with you. Is there anything else that you want to share with us in the next, minute or so about upcoming fun events or anything you want to tell us that we didn't touch on?
Yeah, no, it's one of those things. I have so many if you saw my board of projects, it's just fun and exciting. So I have a lot of secret projects that I haven't told anyone. I would say most of this stuff that I'm working on, I have an inner circle of magicians. And basically,
tell us.
we're on the phone. I've been on tens of thousands of hours of phone calls with my magician friends, and some of them are the coolest, most amazing people I've ever met. You know, and for me, they've shared so much amazing knowledge and secrets about magic and stuff like that. So for me, it's always just a process of learning.
Yeah.
So for me, there's a lot of stuff in the works that it's just, when it's not ready, it's not ready. So there's no point in putting it in the world,
Yes.
So
Definitely.
Steve, listen, for the folks who want to find out more, where can they go? Is it better? Do you have a website? Is it better to go to your Facebook, your social media? Tell the folks where can they find out.
I'm actually doing shows now again, which is great. So people go to my website, stevenbrundagemagic.com, and they could reach out to me. They could book me for shows, virtual shows, live shows. I'm doing that again now. I am being able to tour now. I'm able to travel. So that's kind of a cool thing. And obviously there's some restrictions, but if you behave with the restrictions, we could do live shows. For me, I have a couple outdoor shows booked where you're just there and people are sitting on the lawn.
That's
it's an outdoor
great.
magic show and they can't really stop us from doing that.
Awesome.
True.
Awesome.
Yeah. So for me, I have a lot of stuff in the works, but for me, it's just doing magic again, just having fun with life and just getting the ball rolling again.
Great job,
That's
Steve.
really, really great.
Great job.
Beautiful.
Great. So, Duke, anything?
I just want to thank you for joining us. It was a treat having you on. You seem like an awesome human being. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Right. I appreciate guys what you guys are doing. It's podcasting is a beautiful way just to share knowledge with the world. It's like everyone's looks at the media and this and that, but I think podcasts are the future.